What's up, guys? Let's take a look at another CodeWars exercise. This one's called 5 without numbers. Write a function that returns 5, but we avoid any of our normal digits, 0 through 9, and any of our normal operators, times, plus, minus, divide. So this allows for a lot of different approaches and a lot of creativity. For example, one that I saw, I didn't think of this myself, but I saw it and thought it was cute, was somebody got the date, and a date object gives you, year, month, day, that kind of thing. If you ask for today, and then you get the month, well, that's 5. At least it is now. It's not going to work forever, but I thought that was pretty fun. This is a good exercise to expand your reaches of what we're going to grab for. Every time you see a question, you don't want to use the same things over and over again. But maybe you want to. And when I saw this, my first guess was to use something I have been using a lot, the sum function. So what I thought was, okay, we're going to use the sum function, and we're going to add up something to make 5. Now I can't just do 3 plus 2 or something, but we've been talking recently about Booleans, about false being 0 and true being 1. So my first crack at this problem was this. And I said sum of a tuple with 5 trues in it. And you know what? That would work as well. You could also do the len of that, because the length is also 5. And if you're doing length, you could do something else too. You could say len of hello, and that would work as well. There's another function people use a lot to get a number from a string, and I don't know if I've talked about it in class, but it's called ORD. ORD gives you the Unicode number for any character. So for example, the classic one is A being 65, or at least uppercase A is, I think, 65 and lower is 97. Let me try that. Yeah, lowercase a is 97, and that would mean B is 98, etc. So there's a character that corresponds to 5, and it's some weird character, because the ones at the beginning are like, return and backspace and that kind of thing. So you could Google whatever ORD of 5 is, whatever ORD of something equals 5, and find that. We could get it by using the opposite function. I think it's called CHR. CHR of 5 will give us whatever character is 5. So this thing which doesn't even display on the screen, So that would work as well. But let's say you don't know that. Let's say you're not sure about that. We could do a little minus. We could do like ORD of F minus ORD of A. And we can't do it now because it won't let us do the minus. But imagine that we find some alternate way to do a minus. Then we could use it. For example, you could say from operator import sub. Sub is just subtract. So you could say sub of this and this. Or the one that came to my mind when I was messing around was math distance. We've used that for a 2-dimensional distance, and it'll basically do the Pythagorean theorem. But you could do 3 or more dimensions, and actually you could do 1 dimension as well. So we could say the dist of this guy and this guy, and find how much they have between them. Actually, they want it as a tuple even though they're singles, so we can do like a little fake tuple with a comma in there. And okay, now it's not cool anymore. I thought it was pretty a minute ago, but after all this, it's not going to be nice, even though it will work, right? So the point is, there's a lot of really silly ways to get there, and there are a lot of really interesting ways to get there. Let me show one more, which I thought was kind of fun when I was messing around, and that is binary. Imagine you were going to make 5 in binary. You would go like 101 to get 4 not 2 and 1. And we could do that again with the true and false, right? So we could say like, okay, 5 equals true, false, true. But we've got to convert those, of course, before we do anything with it. The int does that, like whenever we say, you know, int of 5 as an input to turn that into the normal 5, you can do it and you can give a base. So we could say 5 base 2. Obviously that's not what we want. It would be that 101 base 2. So how can we make the 101 and how can we make the 2? Well, let's give it a shot. So we can say int of x for x in this thing, and then we're going to join those because I think it has to be a string that you give to the int. I keep avoiding saying function because I think even though int looks like a function, it's really like a class whatever. So I don't know. And then you could say 2 equals true and true with a sum around it. And then we can do return int 5 2. And what are we doing here? Expected string. Oh my gosh. So I have to go string of int of x. And there we go. Way too much trouble, but again, it's not about coming up with some incredible optimal solution. It's about stretching your mind and thinking, okay, how could we make 5 without typing any digits? Could we do binary? Could we do the results of some other function? Could we do something with strings? Could we do something with sum? Could we do something with any of these little tricks we know? And if you look at the solutions from other people, you might see some others. They're doing len, they're doing ord of this weird looking character, which is the same thing as the /x whatever that we had earlier. It was just shown in a different way. And we got len, we got sum of range of 5 to 5, which is just a single 5, I guess, or 5 to 6, which doesn't hit the 6. We've got a string, and then we find the index of a certain character. So r is at index 5. That's a cute one. I love it. This kind of thing is really good to practice, just to see, can you do another one? Can you do another one? Can you do another one? And you'll stretch your knowledge and often find things that you didn't expect. You know, on the first try you'll do some easy one, and then on the 5th try you'll try something cool. There you go.